What's good, everyone? This is your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And this is where we get now. So clearly you see the title of the broadcast. So apparently, and to be honest with you, listen, look, surprisingly, last Monday night, I was actually strolling through TV and stopped on The Late Show and watched Jimmy Kimmel. And he started talking about Charlie Kirk. Hey, listen, look, this is for real, though. I'm not lying. This is amazing to me. I was watching Jimmy Kimmel live when he said that shit. I'm shocked, bro. I'm telling you, this is crazy to me. But listen, look, I damn sure was. And I'm sitting here appalled now. I'm like, damn, dude. Because I was like, damn, dude, you kind of, what you talking about, Jimmy? Like, listen, look, man, don't you see everybody getting fired right now? We're even talking about Charlie. But, man, I'll tell you, I was watching him live when he said that shit. Oh, my goodness. So this is where we at now. Let's dive off into this shit. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
ABC says it has indefinitely suspended the late night show Jimmy Kimmel Live over an angry response to something Kimmel said about the killing of conservative political activist Charlie Kirk. CBS News correspondent Jonathan Bigliotti joins us now live from Los Angeles with the latest on this. Jonathan, this was a surprise to many people when this was announced. What do we know?
It is, and good morning to you, Earl. A rerun of Family Feud aired in place of Jimmy Kimmel Live last night. The move to indefinitely suspend his show is now raising new questions over the ways the Trump administration is pressuring private companies.
Jimmy Kimmel!
Days after police arrested the man suspected of assassinating conservative activist Charlie Kirk, this was Jimmy Kimmel's reaction Monday night.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
In response, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, a Trump appointee, appeared to threaten broadcasters Wednesday while speaking on a conservative podcast.
They have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
Hours later, Nexstar, the country's largest local broadcasting group, announced it would preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live for the foreseeable future on its stations, calling his monologue, quote, offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our national political discourse. And shortly after, ABC said it would pull its late-night host off the air indefinitely. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
When a private employer takes action against a private employee for speech, that's not a First Amendment issue. That, generally speaking, is an employment-based issue.
Celebrities like Ben Stiller and Gene Smart were quick to defend Kimmel. Comedian Wanda Sykes, who is scheduled to appear as Kimmel's guest Wednesday, accused the Trump administration of ending free speech.
Hey, for those of you who pray, now's the time to do it. Love you, Jimmy.
Reacting to the news Wednesday night, President Trump called it great news for America. Kimmel has routinely taken aim at the president in his late-night monologues, and he's subsequently been a target of Trump's ire, including after CBS announced it was canceling its Late Show franchise with Stephen Colbert, citing financial concerns.
I guess that wasn't enough for El Presidente because he posted, the word is, and it's a strong word at that, Jimmy Kimmel is next to go in the untalented late night sweepstakes. You want us to be canceled because we make jokes about you? I thought you were against cancel culture. I thought that was like their whole thing.
We must be careful not to allow the government to punish critics simply because of content.
Anna Gomez is one of two FCC commissioners working with Carr. She was appointed by former President Joe Biden and called Kimmel's suspension a dangerous new precedent.
This administration is increasingly using the weight of government power to suppress lawful expression, not because it glorifies violence or breaks the law, but because it challenges those in power and reflects views they oppose.
And we asked Jimmy Kimmel and his reps for comment, but we have not heard back. We should note that Nexstar decided to preempt Kimmel's show as it seeks FCC approval for a $6.2 billion merger with another media company, Tegna. Errol?
Okay, so this is where we at. Basically, Jimmy Kimmel came on, talking out the side of his neck right now. Listen, look, free speech is one thing, but when you're talking about a situation like this, that, a man pretty much got his head blowed off in front of the world, like, you kind of got to tread lightly here. I'm sorry, I get it. Comedians are comedians and things like that, but this is it just wasn't the time for that. And then at the same time, though, too, just like with the rest of these people that are being fired from these jobs and stuff like that, Kimmel came out there talking about which was not facts. The investigators actually did their jobs, figured out who he was. Yeah, he was from a conservative family, but he decided to go other ways with his life. Just because you are born into a certain type of family don't mean you stay in that family. And this is what the evidence is showing. And Kimmel came out there talking out the side of his neck about, trying to basically, blame the Republicans for, Charlie's situation, when the evidence doesn't really show that. So, it was a lot. It was a lot, man. Listen, look, man, it just wasn't the time to, speak on that situation. It wasn't the time to go there. Listen, look, we're going to go here now, Inside Edition, see what they have to say.
Shocked. That's the reaction from Jimmy Kimmel and his staff after they got the news their show was suspended indefinitely. The news coming just 3 days after the late night host made some controversial comments about the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
There's intense reaction to Jimmy Kimmel's sudden suspension. His show off the air indefinitely.
They should have fired him a long time ago.
President Trump today bashing Kimmel from London.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk.
On social media, the president went further, calling on NBC to fire their late-night comics. That leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC.
It's eerily quiet outside Jimmy Kimmel's studio here in Hollywood today. The banners are still up, but no sign of any production staff or any crowds. When ABC pulled the plug last night, it came as a huge surprise to everyone.
Tonight, we've got Wanda Sykes, Jay Shetty, and Chef Christian Petroni.
That was Kimmel earlier in the day, promoting his Wednesday night show. Then around 7 p.m. came word that the show would not go on. Kimmel, in a plaid shirt, and his wife, who also works on the show, were seen leaving the studio. And that's his sidekick, Guillermo, getting in his car. The crew, looking shell-shocked, loaded equipment into trucks.
It's time for Celebrity Family Feud.
This is what the TV audience saw instead of Kimmel, a game show.
I was supposed to go over and have a chat with my friend Jimmy Kimmel.
Comedian Wanda Sykes went on social media in full makeup and camera ready and blamed the president.
He didn't end the Ukraine war or solve Gaza within his first week, but he did end freedom of speech. Love you, Jimmy.
So what did Kimmel say that led to his suspension?
Oh, no, ain't nobody in freedom of speech. The thing of this is you can't go online, basically, telling false truths and also running down, people that are dead. Freedom of speech is one thing, but hate speech is another. And, we all see what's going on online. We all know what's happening here, and nobody's blind. Nobody that actually has common fucking sense is blind out here. And we see this. Now, at the end of the day, though, some people are getting caught up in the undertow. Yes, some people are getting caught up in the undertow. But listen, look, dude, when you have these jobs and careers and stuff like this, you have to tread lightly about what you say, about what you joke about, stuff like that, and I be honest with you, regardless of what everybody's saying here, man, it's no way that, Trump could just, be like, have an opinion and everybody just gonna move off an opinion. I mean, listen, look. You can have an opinion, dude, and nobody has to actually abide by your opinion. Trump is, he's the president of the United States, yes, but he had an opinion. These people should be fired. He think they're not good comics and stuff like that. It is what it is. Yeah, they do talk shit about him, stuff like that. People been talking shit about Trump for years. But the thing of this is yes, a lot of stuff that, the Democratic Party pulled this past 4 years was egregious too. Ain't nobody trying to bring that shit up. Ain't nobody talking about it. It's all damn near swept up under the rug out here. Everybody forgetting shit. Let's keep going.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
The comment sparked outcry in MAGA world.
Hate to tell you, buddy, but the guy who shot and killed Charlie Kirk was more likely a fan of yours.
On Wednesday, the chairman of the FCC, Trump appointee Brendan Carr, urged local ABC affiliates to push back against Kimmel.
It's time for them to step up and say, this, garbage isn't something that we think serves the needs of our local communities.
Shortly after that interview, two huge broadcasting companies, Nexstar and Sinclair, announced they were shelving Jimmy Kimmel Live on their ABC stations. Sinclair said they would not lift the suspension until Kimmel issues a direct apology to the Kirk family and makes a meaningful personal donation to the Kirk family and Turning Point USA. Democrats are crying foul.
This is what dictators do. This is what Xi would do. This is what Putin would do. We are not that country.
It should shake every American that the president of the United States is out there firing comedians who make fun of him.
Oh my, how is he firing somebody? Man, come on now. These people work for a network. Trump don't own none of them networks. How is he firing somebody? See, this is the bullshit that we're talking about here, man. This is the outside of the neck. I'm sorry, I just can't go for it. Trump ain't firing nobody. I don't understand what they think Trump just, could just wake up and just have people fired. What about the people that don't even work for these major network stuff, the school teachers and all this stuff that's going on the internet, and they're getting fired? The army personnel and stuff like that. Come on, man. These people that are actually saying crazy stuff, and man, oh my goodness. Come on now.
America is a less free place if late night comedians are not able to say and do what they want, to be able to satirize the American president, to be able to speak out about his conduct.
But the ladies of ABC's,
this ain't, they trying to link this shit to what Jimmy Kimmel was saying about Trump. His show didn't get canceled for that. His show got canceled for what he said about Charlie Kirk and the Charlie Kirk situation. It didn't get, Jimmy Kimmel been talking about Trump. He been making fun of Trump for quite some time now. And his show wasn't taken off then. Now all of a sudden, he mentioned Charlie Kirk not even a whole month or 2 weeks after Kirk gets deleted. Of course, his show come on now. They trying to link this. This is crazy.
View steered clear of the controversy, even if it was the hot topic of the day. And no reaction yet from Jimmy Kimmel himself, but many are pointing to what he wrote on social media right after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Instead of the angry finger pointing, can we just for one day agree that it is horrible and monstrous to shoot another human? On behalf of my family, we send love to the Kirks and to all the children, parents, and innocents who fall victim to senseless gun violence.
And that's where we at. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. If Jimmy did say that, it is what it is, though. But at the same time, though, too, like the climate, you got to read the room. Everybody does. Average people, celebrities, you know what I'm saying? Everybody does. You got to read the room right now. People are feeling some type of way about, Charlie getting done in that type of way. It's not like he died of cancer or something like that, or, Jesus Christ, man. Like, he got done in a very public way. We haven't seen anything like this since maybe Martin Luther King. A lot of us wasn't even born then. Just a public, execution like that. Or what Malcolm X, something like that. They tried to get they tried to get what was the president's name? They tried to, not Ford, but They tried to get Reagan at one point. You know, if y'all are old enough, you know what I'm saying, you remember that, you know, like, yeah, they tried to get Reagan, stuff like that. Listen, look, man, it now ain't just the time to really be, you know, making jokes like that. You know what I'm saying? It is just the truth. You know, I hate things are going down like this. I really do, because this is crazy right here. We're all Americans. We need to try to get the fuck along, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we're being laughed at by the rest of the world. And we need to actually get along to be able to be applicable to protect ourselves from the rest of the world. Because, you know what I'm saying, the weaker we are, the more the outsiders are able to move in undetected, because we too busy fighting amongst each other and not actually standing together and trying to do something positive. I'm just being honest here.
What's the French toast is gonna think
Just being honest. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.